that I've gone through, throughout my career and my life.
Yo Champs, back again on Wrestle Scope Daily with the latest WWE talk. Don't miss out, subscribe, and let's jump in. Imagine the squared circle not as a stage for competition, but as a place where family, loyalty, and deep bonds are on full display. Recently, one of WWE's most respected factions, the Bloodline, faced a moment that shook the wrestling world to its core. The news of Jimmy Uso's sudden departure sent shockwaves through the locker room and left Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, confronting a reality he never expected. This isn't about storylines or championships. It's about family, trust, and the human side of wrestlers whose lives extend far beyond the ring. What happened behind the scenes reveals the fragility of even the strongest bonds when corporate decisions intersect with personal relationships, and it's a story that fans need to understand. The departure that shook the locker room, Jimmy Uso's exit from WWE, wasn't just a change in programming. It was the removal of someone who had been central to both the Bloodline's in-ring success and the personal support structure that kept the group together. Sources close to the situation suggest that Jimmy's departure came after discussions with company leadership about the direction of the faction. The decision wasn't about creative differences alone. It also highlighted the challenges wrestlers face when balancing personal principles with professional obligations. Jimmy's commitment to family and the Bloodline was unwavering, and his leaving left both fans and his own teammates grappling with the emotional consequences. Roman Reigns' private reaction. Roman Reigns, known for his composure as the tribal chief, faced a moment of profound vulnerability when he learned about Jimmy's exit. Reports indicate that Roman was shocked and deeply affected, struggling to process the news in private before returning to the public stage. Unlike the confident, unshakable persona fans see on television, this was a reminder that even the strongest individuals experience heartbreak when personal relationships are disrupted. Roman's reaction was reportedly one of quiet disbelief and sorrow, reflecting not anger at WWE or the situation, but a genuine sense of loss for a family member and teammate who had been by his side for decades. The emotional fallout for the Bloodline. The impact of Jimmy's departure extended beyond Roman. Jey Uso, Jimmy's twin and in-ring partner, was particularly affected, experiencing a level of shock and grief that mirrored the deep bond he shared with his brother. Their connection, honed over a lifetime, was integral to their success in WWE. Witnesses indicate that Jey needed space to process the reality that part of his identity as a performer and as a brother had changed in an instant. Similarly, Solo Sikoa, often the silent enforcer of the group, found himself stepping into a role that required both emotional and professional support, highlighting how interconnected the members of the Bloodline are and how one change reverberates through the entire team. The importance of Jimmy's role. Jimmy Uso was more than just a performer. He was a cornerstone of the Bloodline both on and off screen. He helped guide matches, mentor younger talent, and maintain the cohesion of the group in an environment that can often be challenging and political. Sources note that Jimmy was a stabilizing presence, ensuring that both Roman and Jey could perform at their best while supporting Solo and newer members as they integrated into the faction. His contributions were integral to the storytelling and success of the Bloodline, and his departure left a noticeable gap that cannot simply be filled with creative adjustments or storyline changes. The strain of corporate decisions. While WWE has publicly framed Jimmy's departure as an amicable decision, insiders suggest that it involved complex corporate dynamics, balancing creative vision, long-term plans, and financial considerations. The company made choices that prioritized business outcomes over personal relationships. This created a challenging situation for Roman and the rest of the Bloodline, forcing them to continue performing under the spotlight while privately managing grief and uncertainty. The tension between professional obligations and personal loyalty underscores the difficulty wrestlers face in navigating careers within a corporate structure while maintaining authentic human connections. The fans' response. Fans immediately reacted to the news, showing support for Jimmy Uso across social media platforms. Hashtags and messages praising his contributions and expressing solidarity with the Bloodline circulated widely, demonstrating the deep connection between wrestlers and their audience. The outpouring of fan emotion highlights not only Jimmy's popularity, but also the respect the wrestling community holds for him as both a performer and a person. Fans recognize the human cost of decisions made behind closed doors, and their reaction underscores how intertwined real life and storytelling are in wrestling, impact on storylines, and the ring. The departure of Jimmy Uso has ripple effects on the creative direction of WWE programming. Planned matches, storylines, and faction dynamics now require adaptation, as the chemistry that made the Bloodline so compelling cannot simply be replaced. Roman Reigns must navigate continuing the family narrative while processing personal loss, and Jey Uso faces the challenge of re-establishing his in-ring identity without his twin by his side. Solo Sikoa and newer members of the group are expected to step up, but the unique bond among Roman, Jimmy, and Jey cannot be recreated artificially. This situation illustrates how deeply personal relationships in wrestling shape both in-ring storytelling and audience perception. Legacy and mentorship. Beyond the emotional impact, Jimmy Uso's departure raises questions about mentorship and legacy within WWE. He spent years guiding younger talent, helping them develop in-ring skills, character depth, and professional resilience. His absence creates a gap not just in the Bloodline, but throughout the locker room, affecting talent development and institutional knowledge. Wrestlers who relied on his guidance now face challenges in navigating the competitive and often political environment of WWE without the support of someone who understood both the craft and the culture intimately. Navigating the future. Looking forward, the Bloodline must find a way to honor Jimmy's contributions while continuing to engage fans. Roman Reigns carries the responsibility of maintaining the family narrative on screen while managing his personal grief and leadership role behind the scenes. Jey Uso faces the challenge of evolving as a performer while adapting to the absence of his lifelong partner. Solo Sikoa and other members must integrate seamlessly while upholding the authenticity and emotional resonance that made the faction compelling. This situation is a powerful reminder that wrestling is about more than moves and promos. It's about relationships, trust, and human connection. A human story in a corporate world. What makes this story so remarkable is that it reminds fans that behind every scripted rivalry or storyline are real people navigating real emotions. Roman Reigns' struggles, Jey and Solo's responses, and Jimmy Uso's absence highlight the delicate balance between professional performance and personal experience. It's a testament to the resilience of wrestlers who continue to perform despite personal challenges, and to the authenticity that elevates professional wrestling beyond mere entertainment. The situation underscores that loyalty, family, and compassion matter even in a high-stakes, corporate-driven environment. Closing thoughts. Jimmy Uso's departure is a turning point for WWE, the Bloodline, and fans who care deeply about both the characters and the performers. It's a reminder that professional wrestling is as much about human relationships as it is about athleticism or spectacle. The emotions, bonds, and legacies that define performers like Jimmy Uso are irreplaceable, and their absence is felt on multiple levels: personal, professional, and emotional. As the Bloodline navigates this new chapter, fans will continue to honor Jimmy's legacy, support Roman and the remaining members, and recognize the human stories that make wrestling more than just a show. The strength and resilience of these performers, even in the face of profound loss, is what keeps fans invested and emotionally connected to the world inside the ropes.